Hi, my name is Christina Sabella. I am a priestess and the president of HeartSong Sanctuary Collective. And we are talking about our agreements, these community agreements we all make when we come into sacred space or shared community space together. So today I wanted to talk to you about come as you are. Now feel that in your body. What if you could truly show up somewhere just exactly as you are? Breathe into that. Come as you are. In our society, in our culture, and in this world, we often have to mask. And what is masking? It's basically putting on a smile even when you're sad, right? It's all these different things, and it can be a million different things to different people. You know, as someone who's neurodivergent, spends a lot of my time and actually has been taught to mask quite a bit in order to be perceived in the way that society may want me to be perceived, right? Throughout my entire life, and this probably happened to a lot of you as well, whether you're neurodivergent or not, we are taught to sit up straight, to sit still, to not wiggle, to not say those things, to have a good attitude, to do this or that, to be this way or that way, right? And so we go to a community space and we're like, we have to be happy. Everything's great. And how are we going to do it today? Oh, happy. It's fine. I'm fine. Everything's good, right? But half the time you're not fine. You're oversensitized, or you're stressed, or you're scared, or you're sad. All of those things, those experiences, those emotions, those feelings are welcome in our community. They are all welcome. And we desire you to come with transparency and honesty over people pleasing, right? You actually don't need to come to our community, to any shared space that we engage in, and be anything other than exactly what you are in that moment. And I struggle with this quite a bit because, again, there was a lot of training for masking in my life, right? And you may have had the same experience. And I encourage you to have the experience where you can be seen exactly as you are, right? And this doesn't mean like yelling at people or being mean to other people, or because you're sad, you're like taking all the space by crying. It means you don't have to put on a happy face if you're not happy. You don't have to pretend to be grieving in a grief circle if you're not grieving, right? Maybe it's not a good space for you to be in if you're not grieving at a grief circle, but that's another situation, right? If you don't relate to the experience, you don't have to pretend to participate in it. This is a key, right? You get to be just as you are with us, and we ask you to try to do that, to get the practice in sacred space of showing up exactly as you are, right? Because we follow these agreements of sovereignty, right? Standing within your own strength, within who you truly are, and these agreements of open-mindedness, so that we as a community are inquiring with curiosity about how that person's reality may be seeming to them. Just because we're all sunshines and rainbows doesn't mean that that's the lived experience of the person sitting next to you. So we get to have that curiosity and open-mindedness that each person's reality and experience in this moment, with this process, in this healing space, may be completely different from yours. So we try not to project those things onto other people. And we encourage you to be the mirror, right? One part of my training is about all the different faces of the divine, right? And the goddess is she of 10,000 names, Isis, Queen of Heaven, right? The mother, the protector, the rememberer, the queen of the portals, right? She has all these different names, but there's 10,000 names for this one goddess. And that represents the different faces that she wears, right? Sometimes she is the grieving widow. Sometimes she's the protective mother. And they're totally different experiences, but it's the same divinity, right? So we have these different reflections of our own selves in our lived experience in the world. And some of these reflections of ourselves are anger or rage or grief or sadness. Some of them are joy, elation, bliss, sensuality, right? All of them are completely different, but they're all different faces of who you are. Different reflections of the divine that you are sharing from yourself to the world. So you get to be whichever reflection of the divine you are embodying in that moment. And we ask you to show up in that way so that you can hold that space for yourself, for the community, and as a channel of the sacred energies that are flowing through you in that moment. So let's just do a deep breath. Close your eyes if you feel called. Breathing that in and out. Come as you are. And as you breathe out, just saying that if you feel called, come as you are. Messy, imperfect, flawed, like we all are, or straight and narrow and perfect all the way, as we all are, right? However you are is how we desire to be in community with you. There's room for you exactly the way that you are in this moment with this version of you. Next week it may be different. Next year it may be different. Tomorrow, next minute it may be different. But in this moment, allowing yourself to embody fully exactly where you're at. And I know this can cause challenges for us because, again, we're trained to be a certain way and act a certain way. And also sometimes we don't even have access to how we really are in that moment, right? So some of this is about self-understanding to be able to really, truly tap into, how do I feel right now? Who am I in this moment? What am I embodying? These are all beautiful things to ponder on this gorgeous day. Here we are in the redwoods. How can we just come as we are, you know? How can we say, no, that doesn't work for me today. I don't feel that. Or, yes, I'm really into this and it's okay. You know, your boundaries are honored in our community. Your safety is honored in our community. And your sovereignty is honored in our community. And all we ask is that you be yourself. And we want you to know that it is most deliciously welcomed. Thank you so much. We hope to see you at a HeartSong Sanctuary event at some point, online or in person, as we continue to build the foundation for a very long-term spiritual community that we've been building. And there's a lot of magic unfolding as we step forward. Have a blessed day.